The show today is a throw that's been renamed by the Judocon a few years ago called Obi Tori Gaeshi. And for many years, when I first saw it in the very early, late 70s, a fellow named Judocon, who was a very good sambo and judo man, he did it as well, but he was the best known for it. We all call it the Carbarelli.
Round, break the balance, step, back step, hook, okay, hop in, turn, and lift.
Steve Scott, this is Derrick, this is Josh Lehmen, and we're going to do some big throws to start, okay? Now we've done judo, we figured out I did judo 54 years in my life now, so that's a long time, but I started sambo back in the early 1970s, and I fell in love with it. And I've been cross-training in sambo and judo ever since. It's just, it's a passion of mine. So a lot of the way I've coached judo through the years, on all levels, has a heavy sambo influence, okay? And now you see internationally, it's pretty much a given and accepted thing. You see the former Soviet republics have all broken off into Russia now. So it's kind of a homogenous thing now. So it's not so much a different weird thing like it used to be. But there's some concepts in sambo that I learned, and I also heard it from judo people too. But I learned a lot of these in different concepts about gripping and space and all this different stuff, tempo and pace of a match and all these different things, which we do in judo as well. But we come into play in our throws in sambo. And anybody who's been around in judo very long can see, oh, that guy's had some experience from maybe the Eastern Bloc countries, or he's had some sambo experience or whatever. And there's a bit of a distinctive flair to a sambo throw in many cases. It's getting less and less like that because you see a lot of judo guys do sambo, a lot of sambo guys do judo. But what we're going to show today is a throw that's been renamed by the Judocon a few years ago called Obi Tori Gaeshi. And for many years, when I first saw it in the very early, late 70s, a fellow named Judocon, who was a very good sambo and judo man, world medalist in both. I think he was a world champion in sambo for sure. I don't know about judo. I don't think he won a world's, but he was quite good. And he did this throw with great frequency. And other Soviet, and then the Soviet days of the Soviet Union, they did it as well. But he was the best known for it. We all call it the Carbarelli. Okay? And now it's called Obi Tori Gaeshi. That's a Judocon throw. So we're gonna look at that. But before we get into that, we're gonna talk about what's called now the Georgian grip. We used to just call it a back grip or a belt grip. And we're also gonna look about the differences about how we call creating an anchor grip, starting with an anchor grip. So let's look at that first. So we're not going to do any throws right now, but we're going to talk about our anchor grips here. So when we're gripping, we're fighting for grips, okay? The first hand I get on him and can manipulate with, that's my anchor. It's just like you're putting an anchor in the bay. You're putting an anchor out for your boat. And that's, you park it there. Well, when we're grip fighting or whatever, and that's my anchor hand right there. So that's the first thing, and I might hold on to this for a period of time. I may even change my other hand, will end up being the anchor hand. But right now, that's the thing I've got him, and I'm putting anchor on him right now. I'm controlling him with this. Okay, we're fighting here, and I've got this, and now it's not just my anchor, it's maybe my radar. I can feel which way he moves. So I'm just grabbing his, it could be down here, and it could be any grip. But that's your anchor hand, that's your set, okay? And then from there, we're gripping, fighting, I get the other hand, that may become my anchor hand and I can attack it. And I'm setting my power hand or my tsuri. So that's the concept that I learned from sambo. And also one of my old coaches, Rene Pomerel, who I know has coached Anne-Maria DeMars, a lot of you guys remember Rene. He influenced me a lot, he taught me a lot of judo, and he always used that phrase, anchor hand. So, that's where I came to use it, and that's why I teach my guys. So, we got to set an anchor hand. So, we're grip fighting and everything. And by the way, if I'm leading with my right, I never stick my right foot out. I'm going to get swept. I mean, everybody knows that. But so when we grip, what I'm going to do, I'll get what's called a Georgian grip. That's what it's called these days. It's been called a number of things through the years. So, we're going to show the basics of a Georgian grip that's used quite a bit in sambo. You see it a lot of judo. And then we're going to put it together with certainly one throw, maybe some others if we get time. So what I'm going to do, first I get my anchor hand here. So I've got my anchor hand here. Okay, so I'm controlling his elbow, And my point is just to keep his elbow there, and especially if he starts to move away, I can feel his movement and I can adjust and check his movement if I need to. So there I've got it. But what I want to do really is I want to get my hand around there on his belt if I can. If I can't get his belt, I'm going to grab his jacket. But I really want that belt, okay? So when we're working, I'm working around here, I'm the angle out, and as I angle out to my movement here, my posture to the side here, my movement to the side, I'm going to, instead of reaching over, if I reach over, he's going to send me in orbit, right? So if I come over here, and I'm going to cut across, and I'm going to trap. I'm doing it rather crudely, but cut, come across, and bend. Now I've got the Georgian grip. So I'm holding him like this. Now I've got to attack with this IJF, freestyle rules, or even sambo. You know, I can't just hang on to this and not do anything with it. I've got to actually do this, use this for some purpose. You're going to see what we're going to use it for in a minute. Okay, but this is what's called the Georgian grip. Another common way we use in sambo, which I don't think is done much in judo because of the rules, is to get a hold of the belt and palm up and on his inside hip and manipulate with the belt and move him around and keep working from here. And then I can come across here and catch the double belt grip, and I've got the Georgian belt grip, and I can start using the launches with it. But you see that a lot in sambo, a lot. I don't think you see it as much in judo. It probably wouldn't be allowed, would it? Probably not in the IJF.
Yes, if you attack it.
If I attack, it's okay. We certainly see it a lot in sambo. So either this, the belt grip, or we call it Georgian sleeve grip. Our club, we just use that nomenclature. Derrick's quite good at this. He's still a number of guys with this particular move we're going to do here, both in judo and sambo. So we're going to use that Georgian grip and that concept of closing space, using an anchor hand to control, to throw this guy with Obi Tori Gaeshi, which we used to call the Carbarelli. Okay, so let's look at that real quickly here. And what Derrick's going to do on Josh, he's going to come in and he's got his Georgian grip. He's going to come in and lace. Now in sambo we just call this a leg lace. It's kawazugaki, but you'll see he will disengage this leg eventually when he does the throw. But he's got this. He's using this to park him here. He's parking his opponent here. He's feeling where he moves, and he will eventually lace it and sweep. But you'll see what he does in a second here. So can you demo? Just toss him on the crash pad. So we're going to show it. I'm going to have him throw with it. There you go. Okay. And no kidding, this really does work. It's a very, very effective technique. So we'll start with a grip. We get a Georgian grip. When he does this, and Derrick starts saying things that you need to be,
so
coach.
As you're coming through, you don't want to come over, especially not with Josh and me, because Josh is significantly taller than me, and he's just going to launch me into next week. So similarly to how if you were trying to get a regular belt grip, you don't come over like that and try to jump and grab his belt because he's going to launch me. So it's easier if you take a lateral step and then you come around and use your elbow and then grab.
He did it just outside of his delt.
Okay.
Or not his delt. Yeah, his delt with his shoulder, and he did this. So instead of reaching, he went outside the delt and he manipulated, used his hand. It's all done quite quick. It's it's very aggressive technique.
Right. Keep the shoulder in your armpit. Keep your elbow down on the mid part of his back, so that when he starts trying to get his head back up and lift, you still have control of it. Okay. Back step, hook the leg. Okay. If you're in a format where you're not allowed to use kawazugaki, like everybody come over on this side. For those of you who don't know what kawazugaki is.
Yeah. Now we're not doing this. By the way, we have absolutely zero. Like I said, I've been doing sambo since the early '70s. I've never seen an injury from kawazugaki in sambo, ever, because of the angle it's used and the way it's used. Okay, I've never seen it, and I've seen it done. It's happened to me. It happened in a judo tournament. A guy tore my ACL using kawazugaki, and he did it on purpose. But what we're doing here, we're parking it here. See how he's lacing it? Kawazugaki, I know it's banned in judo, has been for some time, but it's still frequently used and always used in sambo. We see it a lot. So, if you do it right, there is minimal or zero chance of injury. It's just doing it right. So, okay.
Now, if it's a format where you can't wrap the leg, and you just kind of grab it real tight.
Think like an Ouchigari.
Yeah, like an Ouchigari, just don't be lax with it. You have to keep control of that leg so that when he starts trying to step off of it, you still have control of the leg. You want him to stay there so that you can hop in, okay? Once I get that hop, then you can pull and look over that shoulder. So I'm pulling the belt or dropping my elbow and starting to turn his shoulder. And right when I'm looking right out there at the front door, that's when I unlock and lift with the knee, okay? You're trying to lift this other leg, okay?
See the complete body rotation? He doesn't want to, Derrick does not want to land on his back. He wants to rotate totally where there's continued chest-to-chest contact. It's clear who through who, right? Okay. And that's what you want to, you don't want to leave any doubt in the referee's mind who through who. So let's look at it again.
Again, we're going to take a lateral step, shoot past the shoulder, elbow down, grab the belt. Okay, back step, lace the leg. Hop in, pull, turn, knee up to the sky.
Now, did you notice what Josh did not do? He did not stick his arm out, did he? Because you are going to get hurt. All right, keep your arm in, tuck your head, pull on the crash pad. This is why I think every good dojo, every good sambo gym should have crash pads and lots of them, in addition to having good ukemi skills. Okay, so that's why the crash pads are good. So, anything else we want to add to that? Let's do it with the belt rule too.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes you may, there's your anchor, okay? See the anchor there? It's moving around, okay? And so he's just doing the same thing, but he's now, instead of grabbing the arm, it's a belt Georgian grip.
Okay. And this is a little bit easier if you're having a harder time getting them up. If you have both sides of the belt, it's really easy to get the guy locked into you. And at that point, okay, now, no matter what, I don't even have to have a very high knee lift. I just have to turn and kind of thigh drop him, and you'll get him over.
The nice thing about this grip is that there's so many throws, just about any throw can be done from here. It can be Ochigari, Osoto, Uchimata, any throw, any forward throw. So if this, this lifting type movement is not your thing, you can do just about anything from this grip. And it's a common grip these days. And if you don't use it, and you say, that's not my thing, it's an Uchimata type thing. Understand, there are guys out there going to use this. Just guys like him and me, we like this kind of stuff. So be ready for people like us who will be using this type of thing. Okay?
I have a question, and this is a real question, not one of those story rhetorical questions. When you got that grip, somebody who referees judo that's good at it, like Brian maybe, come on, wait a minute. A good judo. Is that, the grip you just got, is that legal in judo? Because it seems like they change the rules every third day.
Also, really, the key is immediate attack.
So if you got that, attacked immediately.
Yeah, go,
Okay.
boom.
And this would not be a grip that I would want to hang out with, because
Right,
he's going to eventually figure it out and get around back and lift me up and slam me. Even if I've got that leg hook, I can't really plant him here forever. He'll eventually step off the hook, and he's going to lift me and throw me into next week. So, even before the rule changes, we were still teaching it to hit immediately off these grips, because you don't want the guy lifting you up. You have a momentary balance breaking, and then you're attacking off something.
Because, I mean, the gripping rules have changed several times, so I just wanted to...
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Some of our guys have even done like a really crappy application of this. They haven't even been to lift the guy. But what they've done is, and I've seen him do it too, but if you couldn't lift the guy, you could just keep spinning him over. Just...
Yeah.
So I mean, you're something you're just going to get points with. Something like that. Like, God, that sucks. But you know what? If it got me 2 points in a sambo tournament, I'm going to take it. So that's the way it is.
And then towards that end, you could also like foot drop. Like a side. So normally, if I know that I'm not getting that lift very well, then I'm just going to turn through and just hit him with a real low kind of spinning side.
So let's try, if you want to. If you don't want to, I totally get it, because it's a big lifting throw, okay? And we're going to do some other stuff real quick too after this. But one more time. Okay, you guys watch my video. It's a big joke with us, okay? Poor Eric, the guy who's normally the demo dog, we call him a demo dog. He's a demo dog. And I always say, one more time, just to stick it to Eric. I mean, I really do that. And everybody knows in the gym, in the dojo, what Steve said, one more time, more Eric, you know? So Josh makes a joke, now so what? He's gonna one more time.
One more time.
One more time.
Okay, so again, around, break the balance, back step, hook, okay, hop in, turn, and lift.
There you go. All right. We have 2 crash pads. Let's get in lines, and we'll help you coach.
If you